are, y'all. Independence Day 2022. Guess I'll say hope y'all had a good holiday. By the time you see this, it'll all be done. Whew. It is hot. It's going to get hotter. I'm crazy. It's just nuts. I wanted to do a dig for my channel, and I haven't even come close to starting a dig. I have a kind of plan in mind. Of course, I had to wait till summer to do it. It's ridiculous. This shelter here, though, I've dug in a little bit before. Just a little bit. There's a hole. There's a hole. More test holes. I have found some things. But I thought a hot summer day, this would be about as good a place to start as any. Ain't that pretty? There's a couple caves here. You can't get into them, but you sure feel cool air coming out of them. I figured the mosquitoes and the ticks don't carry me off. This would be a good place to start. I'm going to spend a couple hours here, hopefully, before I get chicken out. There's another one over there. It's not as good as this one. I guess y'all can see that. It's the kind of place that not so much that people lived back in the day, but they spent time underneath these rock overhangs. Now, this one's not very big. Neither is that one down there. But I have found stuff here before. So anyway, I don't know what else except to get to it. I'm not really ready for this, but I'm going to try it for a little bit anyway. So I am D.W. Verts. I'm the crazy Hickbilly from Hickbilly Outdoors. It's about 90 degrees, and it's going to get hotter. Wonderful. Stay tuned. So I've been kind of cleaning out my hole here where I had before. You got to be fairly clean. Too many leaves and crap get in the way and kill your vision. I'm thinking today's video may be more of a tutorial on how I get started at this. Couple things. For one, I know there's still artifacts here. This was professionally excavated in the, I think, the 50s by the University of Missouri. Most of the shelters around here were. By the way, when you're cutting roots, and you'll be cutting roots and this kind of stuff, leave your mouth closed. Man, that's nasty. Anyway, but I have found stuff here before. I don't know why, how they went about it, because they did not finish the digs. Mostly they dug in the backs of these things. They get that fish mouth look to them, the smiling face look from a distance. I mean, they dug out a little ways, but I find a lot of stuff underneath the strip edge and even farther out down in front of these shelters, especially bigger shelters. But I'm going to go through this dirt fairly carefully and fairly slowly. I don't have the right sifter. I don't have my hardware cloth, my 1/4-inch screen. I couldn't find any, and I didn't try over the holiday weekend to go get some. That's next. Anyway, so I'm going to kind of get started here and try to talk to y'all a little bit as I go. Man, it's hot. At least I'm in the shade, of course, and the mosquitoes aren't too bad. I've only seen one tick. I'll go over some of that kind of stuff too, but I've got several implements of destruction here. I could not find one of my hand axes. I mean, I got several hatchets. I don't know where they're at. That dirt tastes just like old cave dirt, because it's old cave dirt. Man, I am nuts. So I have found stuff in this hole. I found one piece in that hole a few years ago. Winter would be so much better to do this, but we're going to go ahead and make an attempt at it right now for a couple hours. I promise to give some time if I can get over this cave dirt. Quick explanation here. Everybody does this different, of course. The way it works for me is I just try to keep that dirt pulled out of the way, keep it clean. This is really dry dirt. This is not hard digging. It falls right out. So it's continually putting dirt over there in the sifter, and I said that sifter is not going to be a good setup for small points and stuff. I'll go back through that dirt some other time, I imagine. I'm not getting too much of a hurry, I guess is the big point, okay? If you get in a hurry, you're going to break stuff, you're going to screw stuff up. The rocks are obviously big cave rocks. The dolomite that comes out my hand, I throw to the side. I've been known to throw stuff to the side though it's good. So I throw it over there, I'll look at it later because it'll get rain on it. And I'll have a look at it later also. This dirt I'm sifting will get rain on it. I had a pile of dirt there 2.5 foot deep a couple, 3 years ago. It's down to nothing. So I look there for artifacts, of course. Stuff I may have left behind. So if you can ever find big rocks, this one's not going to have any. If you find them 2 and 3 and 4 foot square boulders, I almost guaranteed you're going to find stuff around them if there's any habitation back in the day. That's where stuff's going to be. So you'll find a lot of this dolomite. It's cave rock. It'll look like it's snapped. It's not. I've seen very few pieces ever made from it. It doesn't nap very well. Man, y'all, I am a wuss. I have water in the truck. It's not that far away. I've moved maybe a foot of dirt deep, 6 or 8 inches. Got a little pile over there I've sifted. Again, that's not the way I usually do things. I have a sift table which is tore up and laying over there. It's gone. I need to make another one. Put some screen in that, but whatever. Stuff isn't hard to sift, and I found 4 or 5 napped pieces of debitage, and I don't know, there's probably half dozen pieces of mussel shell so far. I got a big old flat rock here I'm working around. It's slow going. You always, the big fun thing is to do it archaeological style, where you're going through the layers and one starts poking out. It don't happen very often. Once in a while, you'll be working careful and you'll see the end of one. Mostly they fall out your feet, or you find them after you've sifting dirt, or after you've done all that. You come back 2 weeks later, or 2 years later, there's a point laying there that you missed. So it's all good. So I'm going back at it. I've only been at it about 40 minutes. So this hole's big enough now. I've probably made it a third to half again bigger than it was. And I'm actually sitting in it, which is not as uncomfortable as you would think. Wasn't for the sweat. I'm filthy. You cannot do this and sweat and not wear some of this dirt home with you. Just a couple thoughts. I'm up against a big old rock here. There's the top of it. I don't know how far down it goes. I don't know how big it is. That's a good thing. So I find stuff around those rocks all the time. One thing I just did find, about 15, 18 inches deep, I started pulling some mussel shells out. Now, mussel shells are, of course, a sign of habitation. No raccoon brought those up here last week. So that's still good. I know I'm not too deep. Don't know how much more in me I might have today. I've been at it about an hour and 15 minutes maybe. I figured a couple hours would be good. It's not as stifling underneath this overhang. I said there's caves in these rocks, and you feel some cool air coming out sometimes, but it's miserable. I'm going to go a little bit further yet, just so I'd throw a couple points in there real quick. There's more mussel shell I just pulled out, about 16, 17 inches deep. I said that's a good sign. That clues, I'm still in it. I just had a thought that somebody could say, well, these mussel shells you're talking about, how do you know a raccoon didn't bring in things up here 5,000 years ago? Well, I have one answer to that. Touché. sitting in this hole like a crazy fool, sweating. Oh my gosh, all bound up in here. Pull out a bunch of rocks, some other stuff, and I just now finally may have came upon something that's worth filming. I don't know. What have I got going on here? I got me a nasty lens, don't I? They say these cameras are waterproof, shockproof. They're not meant for this kind of stuff. Anyway, so right there, I don't know, maybe. It's got some thinness, some shape to it, so see if I can figure out how to do this. I've never done this on camera before. Oh, it's thicker than I thought. Oh, there you go, people. I like that. It's a piece of pottery. Y'all got that? I thought it was something. It's a piece of pottery. I've got a couple pieces of them. That's the first one I got on film, though. So there you go. That what that is it just a confidence builder. I just put out some mussel shells, so big one, nice piece of pottery, big one. So I think. Well, I didn't know I was going to say I was done until just now. I stood up and I said I'm done. There's a pile of dirt I've sifted so far. Bunch of big rock I poured out of the hole. Oh. And the hole's probably, oh, it's over twice the size it was counting depth. And it's just a start if you look at the whole thing. Still finding some stuff. I generally just leave stuff here when it's not artifacts, even some of the pottery, and let nature clean it up. But I'll pack some of these chips and shards and stuff home and clean them up. Do a cleanup video. So I thought real quick I'd show. I mean, I found a small bucket of flakes and stuff like that. Piece of pottery, which I'm not going to scrub it and clean it up real nice. I've seen it deteriorate before. It is what it is. These flakes, that's all that is. No worked edge or anything. It's funny though, on these flakes, you'll find a lot of these longer ones like this when you're digging these shelters especially, that you don't quite find in fields as debitage. See, there's a curve. I thought at first this was a bone awl. It's not. But it's just funny, you find some different things, especially in these shelters, but digging you find stuff. It just seems strange. I don't try to clean these up real good. It takes vinegar or uric acid or something. I just leave them the way they are. I guess what I'm saying, I'm not so sure they weren't used for something. This, on the other hand, is some of that dolomite. It's a cave rock. I don't know if I can. You can break it. A lot of times you can break it with your hand. So, anyway, just some stuff. But the pottery is a cool thing. Oh, and the mussel shell. The mussel shell. I found a bunch of mussel. You're in the right spot when you're finding mussel shells. Okay? I mean, I found a cup full of those. There's another one there, another flake. Weird, worked. Not a worked edge, just a big flake. Anyway, that's it. No fancy cleanup. It's just hot. Man, I'm filthy. Whatever. Born filthy. It's ready for lunch anyway. You wouldn't think as hot as it is I'd be hungry. I'm hungry. I'm going to call it a success. I found some pottery. I've expanded my hole. Still finding mussel shells. Still finding signs of habitation. So it'll be some more fun digging here. But I'm going to try to start a new dig somewhere. Probably not a shelter. Shelters are fine. I find a lot of stuff around them, but they're not the best place to look. So there you are. Getting punch drunk. Ain't had nothing to drink. It's down there in the truck, so I'm going to go do that next. Thank y'all for watching. As usual, it's just the way it is, the way I am. If that doesn't prove it, I don't know what will. I'm not done with this. Lord willing, we'll do some more. I just wish it was probably 60 degrees. God bless y'all. We'll talk at you later.